something that I do for my audio. Nick, you won't have to worry about it because my audio and Chris's audio is separate from our video.
Okay, good, because I got enough to worry about. Oh, no, wait. Did I say I didn't have my drink? I do have my drink.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I'm on the clapboard. Wow.
That's right.
I feel so I feel so honored to be on the clapboard.
That's right. Hello, everyone out there. I am so glad that you are joining us, that you're meeting us here in the Man Cave. This is season 3, episode 3.
Ooh.
And of course, we have the wonderful, the legendary, everybody out there who loves Michael Myers knows this man, Mr. Nick Mulpagano. As he swirls around, he's so camera shy, as we all know.
Really? If I had my way, I'd boot both you guys out and I'd take over the whole show.
People would enjoy it so much more. I really think so. I really believe so. I want to have Chris fire away with a good question because I know he's anxious to speak with you. But before we do, Chris, I can remember very much back in the day, Nick, you would say, I don't know if people will be able to pronounce my name or if they'll get it right, but I think because of how successful you've had with all of us as fans, I think everybody's got your name down, Mulpagano. I know I've been spelling it right. So you should feel proud of yourself.
If it was, I was 14 before I could pronounce it. And 18 before I could spell it.
Well, you know, I couldn't say Starsky and Hutch when I was a little kid. So,
what did it come out? Starsky and Hutch.
It was Starchy and Hutchy. But I couldn't say Johnny Bench or Pete Rose.
Oh wow! Well, Scott. All I can say is you've come a long way.
Yeah. Good job. Good job.
I might as well quit now while I'm ahead.
Yeah, really.
All right, so now you're wanting to go straight into questions, or are we doing like a?
No, we're just sitting. We're just doing comedy.
That's right. You know what? It is basically a kind of like a Friday night, and I know Mr. Mulpagano's got a lot to do there in the mask pit.
Oh.
But before we all get into this, guys, what are you drinking right now?
What in the world are we drinking? How about that? What in the world are we drinking?
I didn't think I had it here, but I guess I brought it down. My wife made me some hot cider. It's not hot anymore, though. Hot cider with a little apple Jack Daniels in it. The perfect fall drink, I'll tell you. Perfect October drink.
Sign me up, sir.
You're right about that. It's been getting a little cooler around in our neck of the woods, and I'm sure it is in yours as well.
I've got to put a little microwave in the mask pit here to heat up my drinks every now and then. Unfortunately, there's no room. Shelf space is in a negative thing here. I have no room for anything.
By the way, when you said that, everybody knows you call it the mask pit. I would like to pay a little homage to that because
awesome.
That's kind of what I've been calling my experimental area.
Really?
Ever since watching your videos and everything like that, I'm like, mask pit. That's perfect, man. That's perfect.
Well, you know what's funny is because sometimes people will, if somebody sends me an email or a PM or whatever, sometimes people send me voice PMs through Messenger, and they'll sing me the Mask Pit song, and I'm like, oh my god! Cool. Or they'll be like, yeah, how are things in the Mask Pit? And you have a horrible day, Nick. And they'll say hello to Mr. McCreepy. I don't know if you've seen my videos, but Mr. McCreepy comes by every now and then and drops off packages for me. to do unboxings and
Oh,
that. Yeah.
sporadically throughout. I'm going to have to say throughout the years. That just sounds very familiar coming from your mouth. From
Yeah.
YouTube,
Mr. McCreepy.
Facebook, Instagram. Oh yeah. You know what? I'm gonna play like I've never met you before, Mr. Mulpagano.
Okay.
Like, what on earth is it that you do down there in that mask pit?
What do I do? Well, I know we've only got an hour, so I'm going to have to give you like the Reader's Digest condensed version. I make masks.
Yeah, what's all that stuff behind you?
Yeah.
What's all this stuff? Okay.
I mean, I was born yesterday.
Okay. Here we have, this will be interesting for people, a bucket of hair.
Oh.
Yeah, I was putting some hair on mask today. Now this guy here, I am halfway through styling his hair, but yeah, when I get done, he's gonna look very Michael Myers-y.
Yes.
And then this one over here, let's see. Oh, I've got a. This goes on the chopping block tomorrow. A dead ringer here. That's my work for tomorrow. This is a 13 mask that's going to somebody.
Oh, that's so cool.
So then, I'm still not done. Then we have a TOTS 2018 overhaul. It's probably coming up because this is crunch time for me. The month of October, and it actually starts in August, where I know I've got so many people that want their masks for the big day, and so I do everything I can to try to get everyone's mask by then. This year I've had a lot of setbacks last summer, and so I don't know if I'll be able to get them all out, but I am trying to get as many out as I possibly can. So I'll come down here at night and weekends, and just do whatever I can.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Wow, one man band.
Yeah, really.
And and Nick, I feel bad. I forgot to ask Chris. What is he drinking?
Oh, that's right.
We were so excited.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you drinking?
I actually was pouring that under the screen here. I figured we were just going to get right into it.
Yeah.
I'm drinking Sabertooth Tiger. Good old Rhine guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we get into these IPAs.
And my on the side, guys, is a Rebel stave finish. It's a allocated pick.
Oh, what flavor is that?
It's a single barrel. It's Rebel. It's stave finish. It's
Rebel flavor.
It's potent. I'll tell you that. It's 110 proof.
Oh, really?
It'll probably remove some of that TOTS paint off of some of those TOTS masks. Probably.
Because, that paint that they use is like alien technology. You can't get it off with. I have tried paint strippers. Just about everything. Yeah.
Gotta give them credit on that.
Yeah.
And for the occasion, I got this Nostradamus IPA.
Ooh.
Why not? Yes.
Goodness.
It's supposed to be it's definitely a red. So we got our beverages out. It's like I said, it's what we do. We enjoy that. It's because we're beating us down in the man cave.
Yeah.
Where typically sometimes guys have their
loosens this
now.
up.
I may even take my phone / camera up into my man cave so that we can all be in our man caves.
That's cool.
My man cave is all decked out for Halloween now.
Oh man, I was going to ask you. That was going to be one of my questions. Actually, I saw your yard display.
Oh yeah.
I was going to ask how you're decorating and how your Halloween.
Well,
Halloween
I do have. I mean, I have scaled down so much from what I used to do. I used to do the roof of my house. Actually, Michael Myers used to be on the roof of my house. But then then we spent several $1,000s on a new roof, and my wife is like, Michael Myers is not going back on that roof.
That's fair.
He's being demoted to the front yard.
No, that looks real cool though.
So yeah,
how's the boss? How's the boss? The boss of the household doing?
She's in bed now.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I still think because my son, he's inherited the NHK that I received from you, and I always
that was one of your first masks, wasn't it? Indie masks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
And I because just to filterize it, I wanted to make sure that my son received. It's not something that's just going to go in a box or it's going to be given. I wanted my son to have it.
Yeah.
So he's got and I always think of Poopsie's hair right there for the side. For
the now you're going to make me cry because I always cry when I think about Poopsie Pie.
Well, Zach's got a little bit of her, right there on the side. So yeah, I've got a golden retriever that's just begging for my attention right now. So he'll just have to wait.
Okay.
But yeah, the NHK is well, Zach probably has it in his room, which I'm proud that still exists.
Does he have it on, does he have it on the full figure? Didn't you used to have it on a full figure mannequin?
Yeah. Actually his is kind of like a, I really got to figure out a way to make him something because sadly his room it's kind of very tight.
Yeah.
And he has it on the body looks like it's been roadkill for way too long.
Hey, that could be a good
I've got to figure out a way to make him.
Yeah. Make it work for him. Make it work for you.
It's like the NHK is very attractive and the body is just like, ugh. So, are you still making NHKs? Or I thought I seen you post something here recently.
Yeah, I just made one yesterday and sent it off because I don't sell a lot of them anymore. When it first came out, it was, naturally it was new and everyone was like, oh, the NHK. But then since all these other masks have come along, the NHK kind of falls through the wayside. And because I only put it out there if somebody makes one, I'll post a video or pictures of it. And and then people are like, oh, I've never seen that mask before. How come? Is that new? I'm like, yeah, it's 12 years old.
Meet us in the man caves. Coffee and hats. I don't know what else to say. ... Yeah, I need to quit while I'm ahead. But before I do, I have to get this off my chest. Mr. Christopher Webb and I, Scott Kennard, want to send out a huge, honorable thank you. It's early, folks. We want to thank Mr. Nick Mulpagano. It was a huge honor for him to meet us here in the man cave. I'm still starstruck. You heard it yourself from him. The NHK was my first indie mask, and I'm so thankful that my son has it now. Well, basically, it's in another section of the house, but my son, I technically consider that to be his mask now. And it's just, I'm really blessed and thankful as hell to not only have a wonderful friend with Christopher Webb, but to have Nick Mulpagano and you, yes, you know who you are, for watching, for following. What I'm really hoping, because as I go over to YouTube, what's YouTube? When I go over to YouTube, see, it wouldn't be me without screwing it up. When I go over to YouTube and check the analytics, we get a lot of people that watch. I mean, not millions, but for us, look, you got to start somewhere, right? But there are more of you that are watching that are not following us, that haven't hit that subscribe button yet. So if anything, if you're catching this for the first time, you haven't hit that subscribe button, please just hit that subscribe and like. And I know you may hear that a lot from a lot of YouTubers and all that. I get it. Sometimes it can be annoying, but right now we're at the point where we have to, send those, hint, hit the subscribe, because we want to, look, we do our part. Yes, it's important for us to create the content, the podcast that you can enjoy. That way you'll want to come back for more. But what helps us to get more guests like Nick Mulpagano. In other words, let's say there's a sculptor artist or there's a superstar out there that's just meant to meet us here in the man cave. It'll happen because of you. Think about it. You subscribed, you liked, it helped us get more popular. I mean, we're fighting up against 80 million YouTubers out there. Well, fighting is a strong word, but I think you get my point. We need your help. Subscribe, like, share, definitely share. That way, Christopher Webb and I could possibly feel more nervous with a bigger audience and the pressure of having more wonderful guests like Mr. Nick Mulpagano on here, so we can all sit back, have a few laughs as everyone meets us in the man cave. All right, don't say anymore, Scott, because you could butcher it. You could really script the rest of this little intro ad or whatever. Sam, here.
No, I just wanted to kind of direct this in a way of a question, because you do have a lot of variations from the dead ringer to the the thin ringer to
boy.
the NHK to the this, what is it, suitcase mask, I think.
Oh no, the shoebox mask.
Shoebox
I like
mask.
that. There might be room for a suitcase mask now that you give me the idea. Oh yeah.
I'm just wondering, what is your how do you come up with your inspirations for how
the shoebox mask, I'll show you them. I've got the mold right here. Here's the shoebox mold right here.
Okay.
And this is actually a dead ringer. I've got a few variations of the dead ringer. And the shoebox is basically the dead ringer. It's just painted a lot differently. The story goes that in between the filming of H1 and H2, Nick Castle had the mask. Deborah Hill had the mask and this and that. And Nick Castle had it over his fireplace where it was getting dirt and grime and soot from the fireplace. And Deborah Hill had it. And so it picked up it was just starting to yellow, just starting to get all of these dirt and smudge spots over it. The black that they misted onto the hair had worn off and it was starting to get matted. So it was in that transition period that the shoebox mask is, and it's as if Deborah Hill took it out of her shoebox, that she had it under her bed. So hence that name.
Very cool.
We've always had initials for names and all that, yeah. And you went around and you got thought outside of the box.
What you did there.
Yeah. And I want to give also credit to you, Nick. I have not seen, and granted, anybody could eventually, but I like with the H2, where you, and please emphasize it even more with obviously with Dick Warlock with wearing the H2 and the tire patch.
Yeah. Oh, let me correct you. Now,
okay, please do.
I talked to Dick Warlock, and I was asking him about the tire patch. And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, the tire patch that they put over the hole. He said, that was not a tire patch. I said, oh, what was it? He goes, all it was, he goes, it was just a piece of rubber. He goes, I don't know where they got it from. They could have cut a piece of another mask up and just got a piece of it. He goes, but it was not a tire patch. It was just a piece of latex that they just glued on there. So that's a little information that a lot of people don't know. Because I went for years thinking it was I had heard like you that it was a bicycle tire patch, those little round things that you put on the. But it wasn't. It was just they cut out just a piece of latex and glued it on there.
Hey, we got an exclusive.
The effect to it.
Yeah.
I really like the effect of that. Well,
I'll be darned. Let's see if I can. Here is, and it did leave a ring around the where the patch was here, and so I put that into the sculpt here.
I've got two monitors, and I always try to look in this direction, but every once in a while I take a sheet and look to my left because it's a bigger screen. Nick, there's no doubt about it. You've been a very busy man all these years with creating with. Do you ever get tired of it?
That's funny because you asked the same questions my wife asked. She's like, and I'm making Michael Myers there. She goes, don't you ever get tired of just making Michael Myers? I go, it's funny, but no, I don't. I really don't. Because each one is, each one is different in my eyes. It might look the same to somebody else, but each one is a little bit different in my eyes. And I love to take this I'd love to take this blank and turn it into Michael Myers. I just never get tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, your energy
Wow.
has always been so positive and so, scaled in the right direction. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to throw a curveball out there and ask them what fans don't want me to say. But you know what? It shows that you don't get tired.
Yeah.
And I figured I just got to ask anyways.
Plus, I eat a lot of sugar. That keeps
And
my energy up.
There you go. And I have to get this off my chest. I'm looking at the mask pit, and to me, that's always been so cool. Your mask pit, I know it's your workshop, but there's the visuals to me. It's just like, to me, it's part of the Myers. The whole it is. Yeah. It really is. And
let me give you a little.
So it's just.
Let me give you a little swing over here.
Have you ever thought about having tours? You could put tour signs outside of your house.
Look, I just gave you the $5 tour when I turned the camera around. That's the tour.
Oh wow!
Let me go through a few of the things up here. We've got this is
Jeez, look at that wall.
Okay, don't tell me this is the. Okay, we'll come back to that when I think of the name of it. Here's an original Don Post skull.
Is that a Don Post?
You don't see those very often.
Wow. Yeah.
No.
And this is funny because I had this back in the 80s, and somewhere along the way, I put it away someplace, and I never knew what happened to it, where I put it. And then, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was opening up cabinets down here, and I'm like, there's my Don Post skull. So we found that. Here we have my personal 2018
it's a playground
overhaul.
Here
we have now. This people ask me my favorite mask. Okay, it's right here.
Yeah.
This is the 13 artisan mask. I know it looks wonky in the video there because it's reversed, but this is the H40 painted on the 13 mask. And this is is actually my latest mask. I think I came out with this in, I don't know, maybe January, February, somewhere around there. But this is this is also my most expensive mask.
I love the 13. It's a good man.
Because the 13,
I keep hoping to stumble upon that.
The 13 mask was my goal. I think to a lot of people, including myself, the H4 cover painting personifies Michael Myers. That's Michael Myers to so many people that aren't even fans. They're like, "What's Michael Myers? That poster there, that's Michael Myers." So I've always wanted to do that sculpt, and so I did the 13. And then when I saw that, when I first did this was on the Halloween Man, and I painted the cover painting on this probably, I don't know, 10 years ago. And I'm like, wow, that came out really good. I can only imagine how good it would look if I actually did a really super accurate sculpt and painted that on. And that's the artisan mask. And so that was like 10 years ago, I had this vision of doing that. And I finally it takes me a little while sometimes to get things going, but I did that. And that is now, if I had to keep just one mask, I would keep this because it is Michael Myers to me.
When we were talking before I hit the record button, when this video will be available, now I'm thinking as I'm editing it, I'm probably going to be drawn into looking at these more. I'm like, oh, I got to start focusing on editing this. Like that right there. Oh, wow.
Need an extra week.
No, I'll get it.
Let me see if I can.
Wow.
Dang.
Now, sorry. I've got my phone clipped on this little clippy thingy, and I almost dropped it. I'm like, no. Okay, that's okay. So, and then this here is a weird mask.
Okay.
Like, oh, what in God's name is that? This is from a certain angle and with certain lighting. This is the the
Oh, the
Kills
kills.
fire poster mask.
Hmm?
You get it?
I get
I mean, it looks weird
Yeah.
when you're looking at it in like all these different angles, but when it's down like
Yeah.
this,
With
and I had it matched up with the poster, and it's just about identical. So that is
have
wow.
you got an H40, a Kills? Have you worked on an ends yet?
I do have one over here, but I don't have it rehauled yet. It's on my to-do list, yeah. But right now, all my stuff takes a backseat.
It's funny. The last podcast that uploaded with Chris, I was at a was it what do you call it? Party? Not what is it? Party
Oh yeah,
City or
Party
City?
City.
Well, they had they had an H40 laying on the ground, and it's actually right behind me. And I went to pick it up. It's marked $40.
Really?
And we all know in 2024, yeah,
That's a
I'm
bargain.
looking at it. I'm looking, and yeah, it's like I'm for $40. Yeah, to 2024, that's a bargain.
But a week earlier, some kid was playing soccer with it.
Oh, there it is.
It doesn't. Yeah. So I'll work on it too, but right now, to heck with it. I mean, if I never touch it, it was $40.
Oh, that's
but,
the ends mask. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. $40.
really.
Heck yeah. So I just threw it back on the ground.
With that, see, with that
put
mask,
back
you
up
can't
there.
tell. You can do anything to it, and you never tell. It actually looks better. The more you kick it
That's
around on
right.
the ground, the better it looks.
If you were not working on a Myers mask, what would be in the horror genre or possibly another genre? What other mask would you like to sculpt? Now, I remember I'll just stick with that. What would you be sculpting right now if it wasn't a Myers
Right
mask?
now, I would, and I do have another Myers mask in the works, but after that, I would like to start my Wicked Witch of the West, Margaret Hamilton. That's on my next to do list. Yeah.
As I was asking that question, I was thinking back to one that I do apologize. I feel bad right now. I cannot even think of the actor or the character's name from a sculpt that you had done.
Would it be Guy Williams from Lost in Space?
Yes.
I do so few other things in Michael Myers. There's only so many that I can pick from, and I remember doing that one. Yeah. I still actually have two more to do. Actually, the run is done. My license is the only thing that I've had officially licensed. The license ran out. I have to make one for myself, and one he probably thought I forgot about him, the poor guy. But Guy Williams Jr., who gave me the license, I said, I will give you as part of the agreement your own Guy Williams. I said, just let me get a few under my belt first. but he is, he's next. And then I'm last.
Well, it just seems like even within the past 10 years, or even I'll cut it to the 6 years, you have sculpted so much more, and the progression along, it's like your Myers tree is definitely blooming
Myers
big
tree.
time.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I'm still going to do, I've got this one planned. I'm probably going to do it after. I wanted to have it done by this Halloween, but there's just no way. You want me to show it to you right now?
Meet Us in the Man Cave apparel available now. Get your very own Meet Us in the Man Cave house, boat, car, child, guitar, batteries, dishes, household apparel, kitchen apparel, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, shower curtains, phone cases. Oh, the list could go on and on and on. Isn't that right, Chris?
Question. Can I do it with my butt cheeks?
Meet Us in the Man Cave apparel available right now at redbubble.com. Remember, only a few of those items are available, including hats.
That's totally up to you. I mean, it's if you're wanting to wait till 2025. If not, we got a major exclusive.
Here it is
going
right
on
now.
Here. Wow. That is wow. That is certified earth clay right going on there. Hey, it's got to start somewhere, right?
I'm halfway there. All I've got to do now is make it look like Michael Myers. Piece of cake.
Hey,
for you.
No.
for
Let
you,
me
exactly.
tell you something. Michael Myers, I have so many people that are just starting out, and they're like, they want to do the Michael Myers sculpt, and they've asked me for advice and this and that. I'm going to go, and I tell them, before you even start, first thing to do is get as many reference pictures as you can of the original hero mask. And then once you get into it, you're going to find it's the most hard, difficult, frustrating sculpt that you will ever work on. And it is. Nobody ever gets it on the first try. I didn't. I don't know of anybody that ever got it on their first try, or second, or third, or it's just not easy. It's so subtle. Everything is so subtle, and if you don't get that little subtleties in there, it's just not hitting the mark. It's hard. It is very hard.
I say stick to hockey masks.
See, I imagine some of the top in the game could do this with their eyes closed. Like, I imagine you have that face memorized. Like, you don't even need to open your eyes.
Going into it, I was like, okay, I'm going to study this mask pixel by pixel, and I am going to see what makes this mask. And I put so much research into it. And then when I did the 13, I applied all that research, and I was glad to say that the research paid off, because you've really got to study and just see what's going on in this mask with these cheekbones and this nose and these lips and everything. You've got to get these contours and see what's working together and mixed in with. You don't need a whole lot of human anatomy, but you do need some. And I've got 20% on my battery, so I just got a message.
Chris, just in case your phone does die on us, I don't want, because I know I'm guilty of always walking over Chris when we do have a guest on here. Chris, is there anything that was off the top of your head, real quick, just in case
no,
we do lose connection?
I'm a few questions deep. If you want to take one,
you know what, Mr. Mulpagano, we have obviously our horror concepts here. We also get into cars. We tried it because Chris, that's more his specialty. What is your dream car?
Yeah, a 27 or a 2017 Nissan pickup is my dream truck, with Michael Myers decals on the windows. So that's what makes it special. And my license plate is my wife got me for this. She goes, for Christmas, she goes, before I get you this, I just want to make sure that you want it. I'm like, okay. And now my other license plate I've had since I started driving was Nick 101. That was my license plate. I loved it because I can never remember my license plate number. I'm going, that I should be able to remember. All right. So she goes, so I said, well, what is it? So she pulls up all some website where all these license plates are available. And it was Myers 78. I go, I can't believe that's available. She goes, do you want?
Wow.
I go, yeah, but they spelled Myers
crazy.
wrong.
In New York.
Yeah. I said, see if they have it with the right spelling, and then snag it before somebody else gets it. But yeah, so she got me Myers 78. You know what I think would be cool to drive around? The Batmobile.
Which Batmobile are you preferring?
I think they're all pretty cool.
Yes.
I don't know. They're all pretty cool. I even like the 60.
Yeah. You can't go wrong.
I even like the Adam West one. That would be cool. That the first Michael Keaton one was pretty cool. I think those were probably my two favorites.
I think I'd take the Tumbler, Christian Bale's, where the motorcycles like shot out of the front of it.
That's a cool concept.
Man. I would take it.
Was it real or was it like CGI?
Right,
oh, really?
From what I know, I think it's real.
That's cool. So what is yours, Scott?
Yeah, Mustang's always been my favorite. 69 Mustang. It's I'll never have it, but I'll just keep on dreaming about it.
I thought for sure.
That's always been my favorite. So
the Scooby-Doo mystery van. That would be cool to drive around too.
Probably actually it's been about 20 years, or maybe longer than that. Yeah, we'll just say 20 years. I like that math better. I had a cousin by marriage, Vicky. She drove a Monte Carlo.
Oh, I remember the Monte Carlo.
And it was the same color. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Same color and all that from the 78. I'm like, now that I remember just being in that car.
Yeah, Monte Carlos were
I miss
cool.
those old cars.
Yeah, they were cool cars. They were so popular. It's like they didn't change them for a few years. They're like, they're so popular. We're not going to change anything about them, you know? Yeah, those were cool. They had that really long hood on them and everything. And yeah, those were cool.
And you could just turn the steering with your finger.
Yeah,
I miss those days.
Those were cool.
Oh yeah,
those were cool.
Chris had a license plate at one time on his Honda RT, and it was Meyer related.
Yeah, it's on the wall.
Oh, what is it?
Sam Hain. Well, Sawin, but Sam Hain. Yeah.
Oh, that's what that's your.
I could get it down, but it's nailed to the wall there. I can't get it down.
Yeah.
You just finished or listening to your favorite podcast, Meet Us in the Man Cave, and you've asked yourself that question once again. Do I enjoy a new challenge? Well, thanks to our good friends at you could start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. So come on, what's stopping you?
Question. Can I do it with my butt cheeks?
Imagine you're over in France and you have a very important business meeting and you bump into your cousin Stacy and you want to impress her with just one simple word. Bonjour. In 2 weeks, you're having a very important spaghetti party and all your Italian friends are going to be over. They're impressed with your spaghetti, but could you imagine how more impressed they will be by just simply shouting out, CIO? Your whole life, you've put it off, and it's finally come to the point where you're over in Germany and you're meeting your grandparents. Do you want to impress them by the fact that you could just simply go up to them and say, hello? Last but certainly not least, you are stuck in a country where they only speak Spanish and you're looking for a speedway. Hey, there's a complete stranger. Maybe I'll ask them. Ho, LA? Thanks to Meet Us in the Man Cave and our good friends at Baby Bella, they're going to help you speak a language in just 3 weeks. Are you still looking for that challenge? What's stopping you?
Only available at Bubba.
No, I really wanted to know, what do you jam to down there, Nick?
Well,
what kind of music are you listening to when you're banging out those NHKs?
No, you got to remember, I'm probably old enough to be your grandfather, so I listen to Grandpa and Grandma. Well, actually, this time of year, and I start probably mid-September all the way through October. 75% of the time, I listen to vintage Halloween radio programs from like the 30s, 40s, and 50s with Boris Karloff and Vincent Price and Peter Lorre and all of those, you know, where they play the somebody says something and but what if that should happen? Then you hear the music coming in, doo, doo, doo. You know, it's all that campy vintage kind of horror movie stuff and radio stuff and stuff like that.
And I think that's what a lot of horror movies are missing today. They're missing that music that to put chills up your spine.
Yes.
It truly is missing that today.
They are. Yeah. They really are. Yeah.
Okay. Halloween. I mean, there's three parts of that franchise, or just let's say the original one, the characters, and we'll just say the music alone. Yeah. We'll just leave it at 2 parts. You can't have the music without. It's like Myers and the music; it goes hand in hand. We all know that.
It does.
So it's just.
Yeah, it does. And I remember reading that when John Carpenter screened the movie for a bunch of movie executives without the soundtrack, he goes, it just fell flat. You know, without the soundtrack, the music, and this and that. He goes, and nobody had anything really like, wow, that's great. It was like, you know, and then they saw it again with the music, and it was a totally different ball game, you know. So it does, it does. The film score, incredible.
I don't think Jaws would be scary.
Yes,
nearly as scary without
that was the best. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Now, just in case we forget. Why we have you here, I know there's probably 98% of the people that are watching right now. They already know where to find you. But Nick, I just want to make sure before we forget, Do you want to plug anything that's going on with your social media or anything?
Probably the most visible on Facebook, running a quick number 2 Instagram, and then a little number 3 with YouTube, only because it takes more time to produce a half-hour video than it does to post a picture of a mask.
I think that's where a lot of people enjoy. And it's just me, because I sadly, as we all pay for our streaming services, right?
Yeah.
I probably watch more YouTube than any other service.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a whole, as your fans, we enjoy those YouTube videos from you, Nick.
You know,
no pressure.
People, yeah, I'm
just saying.
Yeah, I know, and it's really, I am so happy that so many people make a point to let me, whenever people send me like an email, PM or whatever, they're like, yeah, I've been watching your YouTube videos, and me and my kids sit down and we watch your videos and this and that. And yeah, we really enjoy it. Please keep doing it, and don't stop making your videos, and do just what you're doing. Everybody, I don't have a like a how do I explain it? I don't do anything that's really slick, with all this, tech and everything. I have a very loose, when I do a video, it's like whatever's going to happen is going to happen, take 1, take 2, or take 3. The outtakes are usually better than the original take. So usually I usually put my outtakes at the end of my videos and stuff like that. But yeah, whatever happens, there's no big. There's no script or anything. I know some of my friends they're doing their videos and they actually have a script that they memorize, or they're looking at a teleprompter on it. And, I'm like, oh man, I can't remember my license plate number. How am I going to remember a script? I can't. It's just by the seat of my pants, I do everything.
We're used to that here. Yeah, no problem.
If somebody is just too perfect, it's boring, and you start to zone out. So it's not good to be too perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's boring.
Absolutely.
Perfect people.
Absolutely. I got one. Let me go grab it real fast, because I really want you to walk me through the process of this thing.
Well, if I can.
Here's a quick look at how the thunderstorms are rolling there. It's
subscribe today. Oh, and like and bell and.
These guys, we haven't touched on this yet, but you do offer more than
your familiar.
Pumpkin.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. I have his twin brother.
Yes, I love this little guy.
Now, how long have you had that?
Whenever you started making them, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Holy cow!"
I started doing probably not too long after the 2018 movie came out. So maybe 2019, I probably started making those. So that's probably like 5 years old. This is the same pumpkin. I melt it with a heat gun. It's the same pumpkin.
That's crazy.
I melt it. As a matter of fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, check out my latest video is of me showing how I make these pumpkins.
I gotta ask, what's your consistency level? Are there small little nuances, or are you pretty much dead on with all of them?
They're
being that you melt it with a gun. That's
with a heat gun. Yeah, I take this pumpkin and melt it and squish it down so that every one is a little bit different. Somebody I made one for somebody, and they're like, yeah, well, I this one wasn't like the one in the picture on your website. I said, no, they're all different. I can't, because they're all hand squished, I can't make them all exactly the same. I said, that's the beauty of it. Everyone is unique.
Yeah,
absolutely. Exactly.
But there's there are little things on here, like that I took from the original movie pumpkin. There's little scars in here around the eyes, and that you probably nobody is going to know unless you're like a Michael Myers, aficionado, like all these little things that were on all these little pumpkin scars that were on the movie pumpkin.
That's still insane.
Actually, the Michael Myers movie pumpkin at the beginning of the movie, that you watch my video and I'll show you how it started out. But that thing was about this. It was about 3 times the size of this right here, and it was actually a gourd. It was they couldn't find pumpkins that time of year, so they found this orange gourd that looked like a pumpkin.
Now, hopefully your battery's still okay. I was wanting to ask you while we were. Do you recognize?
I'm going to take this upstairs to the man cave, and I'm going to plug it in. Oh, the hollow wine bottle.
Oh.
Okay, we are now.
Yes, and another one.
All I can say is with the consistency level that you're popping these out at. I mean, just well done, sir.
Okay, we're now into the.
I mean, I wouldn't know.
We're now in the man cave. Let me get a little light on here.
That looks awesome.
Okay, here's my man cave here.
Hey, all right.
Oh, say hello to Frosty, everyone. Oh, Frosty.
I got a furry friend.
Frosty. Yeti.
Frosty.
Yeah.
Oh, babies.
That's my kids. But yeah, we have.
Wow.
Let's see if I can get this up here.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Chris,
Jack Skellington.
This is actually pretty good, Chris. By the way, that was actually not bad.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Oh, I like that.
Now, I got.
Hey, what do you? What? What is going on here? What kind of witchcraft is this?
Yeah, these kids. Michael Myers is chasing these kids on an endless loop here. It's like they're going.
Oh my God, I love it.
Start out that they're going through the door, and then Myers comes around from around the back of the house there, and they're going.
Oh my God, take my money.
And Mike is after them.
Oh, I want it.
How big is that?
It's probably about 1.5 feet high.
Wow. Yeah. How long were you working on that?
That was a project. One of my projects. Then I've got my vintage.
So
they're not.
cool.
These aren't actually all vintage. They're reproduction vintage. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
And then the reproduction. I love
decorating.
the old Halloween of like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
With the vintage.
Especially when you see them in black and white photos, they're so creepy looking.
Exactly. And then here's the dinosaur. I used to have a haunted house. Here's the dinosaur that I had in my haunted house. And I actually built my man cave around this. This cannot fit out the door. Whoever buys this house, the dinosaur has to go with it. Because I can't get it out. The door is not big enough to get it out.
That's great. You ever crawl up inside that mouth and go to sleep?
Frosty, please, Frosty.
When did you actually start sculpting?
Oh my gosh, when I had my my haunted house back in the 90s. There were a lot of, and this is pre-internet. You couldn't go on Amazon. This was even pre-Walmart. We had a Kmart, and we had like a novelty store that you could buy masks and stuff like that out. So there was nothing really, nothing real. Like if I want, like when the Nightmare on Elm Street came out, Freddy Krueger, you couldn't buy a Freddy Krueger mask because they didn't start to merchandise it until a while. And so one of the first masks I did was my own Freddy Krueger mask. And so I had that in my haunted house. They're like, how did you get a Freddy Krueger mask? They don't even make them, And I'm like, yeah, I had to make it myself.
Jeez.
That's a lot of attention to detail, right
the
there.
Freddy. It's not an accurate Freddy Krueger. It's not gonna. But in the dark with a strobe light on and a hat, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Since nobody else had it, there wasn't anything to compare it to.
That's still, I think about a Freddy Krueger mask, and I know we've seen them up today.
Oh, yeah.
You can, with they're so. It seems like it has to be prosthetics that would have to be on Robert Englund's face to actually look good.
Yeah, exactly. That was
wow.
Yeah, that was a piece of genius. Freddy Krueger was a piece of genius. The whole character concept and everything. That was just Wes Craven.
Especially when he talks about the inspiration of it. That is more disturbing. Just than wow.
It's funny how things come to being, that they're actually part of somebody's, imagination and nightmares and everything. And they are actually, they're living nightmares, really.
Man. Well, Nick, it's obviously you keep yourself very well busy. I know it's probably been up and down through the recent year, especially in 2020. I would imagine it was, but we don't need to go there. And you showed us the future mask of 2025, and I know
we will be watching intently.
It'll look a little better the next time you see it.
I just want to say, thank you for meeting us here in the man cave. It's been a huge honor. I wanted to make sure that I did thank you
pleasure.
and all that, and
for having me on there.
Absolutely.
I happened to see your post,
time, sir.
And looking for artists and everybody. Hey, and I'm like, hey, I'm down for that. So I shot you guys a PM right away.
We were just kind of fishing, and we caught like a largemouth bass right there. I mean, that's like a trophy one. You hold up. It's like, wow.
We've reached out to others, and everybody's schedule is so hectic and all that. I'm like, we'll just post it out there and say. And when you responded, I was kind of like, it was one of those moments where I was probably all day kind of like, feeling sorry for myself. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing Nick wants to come on. Holy crap. Really felt starstruck about it.
Like, we better snag him while he's still drunk and changes his mind.
I mean, you keep drinking that apple cider,
let's get him
whatever it is. We'll get you nice and drunk on the next one, and you come back on.
Are you a complete loser? Well, go open a can of Meet Us in the Man Cave beer. It friggin' tastes awesome.
Drink responsibly. Only available at Bubba.
There are people who you meet through social media, through this hobby, through this community. And Chris could be the first one to tell you, or he can elaborate what I'm saying from here. There's so many people that I've met, and they've all mentioned Nick Mulpagano. And everybody knows you, and they've been inspired by you, or they've learned something from you.
I do hear from a lot of people that, that I started them. Let me tell you just this one story. This guy sends me this long email.
Please do.
And he goes, you don't know me and this and that. He goes, but I've been watching your videos and I've bought your downloads and everything. And I've been, he says, I've been out of work. I've been in a car accident. And I've been out of work. And, so I'm kind of laid up. I didn't really, he said, I felt guilty. I wasn't being able to contribute to the household financially. And he said, so I started tinkering around with rehauls and sculpting and this and that and everything. And he's like, I finally got to the point where I think I've got enough nerve to show you what I'm doing and to say thank you that I am now, because of your videos and helping me find this new part of me that this artistic side I didn't know existed. He goes, I'm able to contribute to the household again financially and feel better about myself. He goes, and he showed me his work and everything. I'm going, man, you're pretty good at the stuff you're carrying out there. And so it's stuff like that. It really does make me feel good that I'm what I do is changing people's lives for the better. So it does make me feel good. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody that
No,
sends me a compliment or a comic, because I try to read and answer about 95% of everything that comes in. A lot of stuff gets
No.
tossed into spam and I can't find it. I recently found there is a spam
Yeah.
folder on Facebook, and I had about 500 PMs in but I
Wow.
answered going back about 3 years. Then after you go back for 3 years, you can't reply to them anymore. But I made a point to, I'm like, I know it's been a long time. It's been 3 years. And you probably thought I didn't read it. But I go, I just found out about it and I'm just getting back to you. And I want to thank you for PMing me.
And I'll say this for Nick right now of YouTube, especially as your channel grows, people will leave comments and sometimes you'll get a notification on your phone and then you try to go find it on YouTube and it's not there. So it's like, does YouTube have a spam folder as well?
Exactly.
It's very odd. So don't feel bad if you don't hear from us. It's that
Nick,
spam mystery folder.
Was that Mike? The story you were just telling us? Mike?
No.
Mike McCobb,
This was,
I think his name is.
This was way before. Mike's got a great story too. But this was probably 3 or 4 years ago. But Mike, he was another guy that I happened to see his channel, and he, unlike me, who stutters and stammers and takes five minutes to get out one sentence, he's very he can speak well. He's very intelligent, unlike myself too, and he can really put together talking about movies and stuff and his art and stuff like that. So I was so entranced by him. I started watching all his videos and got into his artwork there and his Meyer sculpt. And then he sent me a blank to finish. And so I did that. And that was one of my most popular videos, as a matter of fact. And that he let me critique his mask. And a lot of people don't like critiquing because they don't like anything negative. So, but it's how you learn. And I can tell people all day. People send me pictures of sculpts all the time, and I'm like, do you want me to tell you how great it is and lie to you, or do you want me to tell you the truth? And it's up to them.
No, that's fair.
I said, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you what needs to be worked on. But and I'm not criticizing it, I'm critiquing it, which is, there's a difference. I'm trying to help you.
Constructive.
Exactly.
Constructive criticism. Exactly.
And what you're describing there makes me think of, I'm going through guitar lessons again. And it'd be like paying for guitar lessons and then going to see my, music teacher once a week. And if I just sit there and start playing something, and if I'm doing it wrong, I want to at least hear it from him. No, and I'm like, that's why I'm not doing right. That's how I'm seeing it.
It's just as simple as checking the ego at the door.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's all I can say about that. But Mike McCobb, check out his YouTube channel, because he's got some great videos. Like, everybody's got to start somewhere, and it is so hard nowadays to get a following. I mean, people are like, oh, Nick, you got like 10, I don't know what it is now, 10,000. I'm like, but my YouTube channel's 20 years old. It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and there's over 80 million YouTubers right now, so it could be a challenge.
But I tell people, if you like doing it, then it doesn't matter, how many followers you have or whatever. I go, just do it for your own enjoyment. That's what I do. People go, oh, if you didn't make masks, what would you be doing right now? I'd still be making masks because that's what I enjoy doing.
And, and I have to say this, and I've been saying this in the past, and I know I'll continue to say this in the future. Folks, if you're watching this right now, or even listening on your favorite podcasting app, you're seeing Mr. Nick Mulpagano here, and he's been showing us his masks. And I know that there's a good chance that maybe you go on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram and you see one of his masks. And if you're new to this hobby, there's a little rule, an unwritten rule that I'm going to share with you. And I think maybe, Chris, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm sure as I go further along, Nick knows exactly what I'm saying here. You see something there that you like, if you ask how much it costs publicly, you may not get a response right away.
That's between you and the artist, for sure.
Exactly. So my advice would be, Nick Mulpagano, what would you say right now? Gee, have you ever had this kind of question brought up before, or a situation?
If what, somebody asks how much something is? Once in a great while, if I'm lazy, I'll just tell them in the post. You can go through some of my YouTube comments. The Dead Ringer mask is $295. Yeah. But what I usually do, and this time of year, it's the busiest time to do with not only making masks, but answering emails and stuff like that. So I form email that has all the prices and sizes of just about every mask I make, and I send that out to everybody. And yeah, so everything is
pretty cool.
there, and I just have to click. There was a time when I used to type it all out, but I was like, "Why this? I can't do this. Too much." I said, "Let's do a form email."
Yeah,
just one click, and everybody gets the whole shebang.
And that being said, folks, don't be expecting to get it this year.
Well, there you go.
There is.
Very
I
good
do
point,
have
Chris.
right. It's. I got it down from a year to 6 months, so there is. I'm making a little headway here, but yeah, there is a typical 6-month wait. But one thing that I want to have, I'm going to try. I've said this before, and I haven't been able to do it, but I'm going to try again. I'm going to try to have maybe 2 or 3 masks a month that are readily available to purchase, that are done, that you can have in a few days, with the exception that it will be more expensive than a mask that you have to wait 6 months for, but you're getting it with no wait. So there is a premium fee you have to pay for that. And I'm going to try to work on that more. I think I did one, and then I just couldn't do. I didn't have time to make up, a mask to do it. But I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on it. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Multiplicity?
No.
With Michael Keaton?
Yeah. No.
Good movie. Good movie.
I was gonna say it's a great family fun movie. It's basically he finds a way to copy himself.
Oh.
And it's hysterical. I love that movie. And this sounds like this is what you need. You need to be able to clone yourself. That way you could probably make about 2 or 3 and have them ready to go. Hey.
The only problem was they got like one of his attributes and nothing else. So there were like 4 of them, and they all got like one of his attributes, and they were all worthless.
And then, to me, by the time he got to the 4th copy, it reminded me of Michael Keaton back in his comedy days, because he would be like,
"Oh, I remember
pizza," and he would put pizza in his pocket.
My peppy.
Oh,
what a good movie, man!
Yeah, it is. I love it. I like Michael Keaton doing comedy, period. So,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
He started out,
well,
this little factoid, Michael Keaton started out as basically almost an extra on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
You think I should start dating?
Came as soon as I heard.
Get out, you swinging single.
Hey, you got me all wrong. I'm a door-to-door salesman. You want to buy an encyclopedia?
No.
Okay. Want to have sex?
Get out. You didn't give me time to answer him.
In the mid-70s. You had like a few little bit roles, and that was it. That was his start into show business, I think.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And one of his I think his first, Chris, I talked about this, I know, probably first season. It was a movie called Night Shift with Henry Winkler.
I remember that movie.
I know that movie.
I do.
I know that movie.
Yeah. And Shelley Long was in it too.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton kept on singing a song from Jumpin' Jack Flash from the Rolling Stones. That's all. It's all he was doing after the movie. It was hysterical. Now I want to have that movie again. I haven't had it in years. I have Mr. Mom in the other room, but
I remember Mr. Mom too. Oh my God! Wow.
Well, Chris, is there anything else that? Because I know, like I said, I'm going to step it all over toes because we're getting to the point where we're a little over an hour here, and I'm not trying to run anybody off. I'm just being considerate to our guest here. Like you said, this is your busiest time of the year and everything else.
That's when I go into overtime. Now I get paid double. I get paid overtime after.
Nick's time is very valuable, folks.
And we've had
paying the rate that you
a dozen.
And if you're paying me the rate that YouTube pays me for my videos now, I've made about 12 cents.
I remember that first YouTube check. Wow. I thought, oh, I'm going to be so successful. But then again, I was kidding myself too.
Yeah, you were an ambitious young man.
Oh man, I do. I get like 2 checks a year from YouTube.
Do you really?
Yep. They basically
to see a check. They tell me how much money my videos made. I haven't seen a check yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I know that there's
and I filled out.
I had to go through.
Yeah, I filled out all of the things to be verified, my home address, and that was about a month ago. And is there has it got to be over like $1.50 before they send you a check? Maybe.
There's actually. Did you receive the physical mail? Did you receive like a postcard? Yeah. Okay.
With a
okay, that you've got
with a PIN number on there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you've got all that.
Yeah.
Technically, YouTube pays you. It's once a month.
Oh.
It's. Okay. I guess it may vary with 80 million individuals. Not all of us, you know.
Yeah.
But once you with the obviously with ad revenue, once you get to the point where it's $100, then they mail you that check.
Oh.
I mean, yes.
Check then.
So
I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, they used to. I don't. They may still do it. I have no idea. It got to the point where once you've achieved so much,
yeah,
and when you were eligible for it, because I got a check from YouTube at one time, it was over $600. I'm like, what?
What?
Because it accumulated. It accumulated. I'm like, if this is going to happen every month, I've got to focus creating content all the time. Especially when I hear about how some of these people are doing, because I'm going to try to find a way to quadruple that at least.
Yeah, right.
Well, that ended so quickly, because now it's like, let's put it this way: I barely put any content up on my original channel.
Yeah,
and about twice a year I will get something because people are watching.
Yeah, right.
It's this time of the year.
Yeah,
and once it gets to $100. Then it's usually for me, it's like the third week of the month. I'll get like, oh, cool, good timing. I just got a check for $113 from Google.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So if you just did yours about a month ago, don't be surprised if you might hopefully your first check was like mine, like holy crap, but
that'll be fun.
Yeah. Do some Mulpagano TikToks as well.
Oh, well, that's funny because I started the TikTok channel, I don't know, like a year ago. Then I wasn't able to log on. I had like 2 or 3 videos up there that nobody saw, of course. And so then I wasn't able to get into my account. So I just dropped it. I was like, so then recently I went back and for some reason, I was able to get back into my account. And so and now you just saying TikTok reminded me, oh my God, I forgot about it again. And I forgot to upload stuff on there. So now, yeah.
I always forget about TikTok too. I try to tell myself, don't feel bad. If apparently I've heard enough from others. It's a Generation Z format.
Well, yeah.
If you're trying to get Generation Z's attention,
yeah.
TikTok it.
I don't even have a TikTok. I refuse.
It's frustrating when you see the lame things that get like millions of views.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so lame.
It's like I'm such a YouTuber. I mean, I get it. Your attention, people's attention spans. If it's a funny video, it's like 30 seconds. Okay. But I love it when I get to sit down and watch okay, here we go. Plug in Nick Mulpagano. When you put up a video where you are finishing it, this is how I stuff a mask. This is how I do the hair. It's like,
photograph, lighting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Murky
just so
Waters
much
has
more
been on my
intense.
channel.
Several times. I've watched many of your videos, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it.
fact,
Every little click.
There's people that I've known that they learned how to hair because of your DVDs, which we haven't plugged. Handyboy.com. There you go, folks. I'm going to put all Nick's information in the description box, by the way. Chances are you know where it's at.
Actually, as we speak now, I'm digging the grave for handyboy.com to bury it because
really?
I'm actually switching over to the maskpit.com.
Okay.
I just don't have time to devote to it right now. But Handyboy will be a thing of the past. Soon.
Handy Boy.
Oh, wow.
I still got your card.
It'll
buddy.
be the mask pit. Oh, oh man.
Well, there you go. Because obviously, if you're going to have a store where your shirts, your DVDs, et cetera, which of course, naturally, Nick will be constantly keeping everybody up on that.
The thing, I have to have my clone do all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
The mask pot. I got to get my clone to do all that tech kind of stuff and upload everything and this and that, because it takes such a long time. Oh my God, to get everything together.
Yeah,
it does.
I'm so lazy about doing what we do here, and it's like, come on, man, no excuses. Get up and start doing some of this stuff. So I understand, and it's light compared to what you're going through. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, Nick, I'm going to go ahead and basically focus on our saying goodbyes here because we've got a little bit over an hour.
Cancel me.
And no, we're just, I always feel like I'm always forgetting something.
If at any point your workload lightens up and you want to come back on, please let us know.
Oh,
definitely.
It lightens up about like December, January, around there.
I'll see you in January, sir.
And hopefully your window times are small.
I want to be the first guest of 2025.
Ooh, okay.
So make a note of that.
Well,
lock it in right now. I got you.
Jake Patton, did you hear that, buddy? You're gonna have to. He's a friend of ours. He started following us and all that. So we always go, when in doubt, we got Jake Patton to help us out here. Oh. So yeah, he's a good friend. So all right, Nick. Well, thank you so much.
All right, then. I don't know.
I know.
I'm trying to think of something.
I am now.
I think you've seen pretty much everything that I have. I don't have. Oh, let me show you something.
Okay.
I got to lean my phone up against something. Let's see. Stay. Okay, wait a minute. Stay. Okay. And I see a little leave button on my screen. So after I show you this, I'm just going to leave. Okay.
All right. Oh, is that the Joker?
Bye now. Have a horrible day.
Chris and I would like to thank you for watching or listening to Meet Us in the Man Cave. Since you enjoyed watching us, make sure that you tell all your friends and family to subscribe to Meet Us in the Man Cave here on YouTube. Make sure you click on that notification bell. That way you're notified on our next video podcast or live stream video. Better yet, if you appreciate freedom of speech and oppose censorship for content creators, make sure you follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Rumble. Are you on Discord? Well, Meet Us in the Man Cave's there. Come and hang out with us. You can find and follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And as always, you can listen and download Meet Us in the Man Cave on your favorite podcasting app. Available to stream or download so you can listen all you want, whenever you want. For more information, go to meetusinthemancave.podbean.com.